Let's quickly cut across to Rahul Kanwal having a word with Ashwani Mahajan, the co-convener of, he is the co-convener of Swadeshi Jagaran Manch. Let's take a listen what he has to say.
The Prime Minister is pushing for an Atmanirbhar Bharat, speaking about significant structural change in land laws, labour laws, administrative processes for a perspective on what the Swadeshi Jagaran Manch, which is an affiliate of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh or the RSS, thinks of this. I'm joined at this time by the man who runs the Swadeshi Jagaran Manch, the national co-convener Ashwani Mahajan. Ashwani ji, welcome to India today. Can you begin by giving us your broad sense of the thrust of the Prime Minister's message seeking to introduce major reform in land labour laws, saying that this is a step towards an Atmanirbhar or a self-reliant India?
It's a new sunrise, as we have said, because in the last 70 years we have never trusted our people. We first trusted public sector and then we trusted foreigners, that they will do everything for us. The development will happen only with the help of FDI and the MNC. Now, for the first time, the Prime Minister has given a call for a self-reliant India, local industry, localization, and not just localization, a push for localization by the people of this country, the government. And the government has come out with various schemes, and the Home Ministry's call for making purchases for canteens, the paramilitary forces canteens, and we are also expecting the similar kind of announcements from your Defense Ministry as well. So the policy direction is good, and we feel that to promote that and to create a kind of ecosystem in the country, we have missed our earlier industrial revolutions, and if we could improve our ecosystem, the ancillary industries we have seen in case of the automobile industry. In the past 2 decades, we have seen that how automobile industry manufacturing has boosted our manufacturing, and we expect a similar kind of thing for the electronics and telecom, chemicals and metal industry and others. So for that ecosystem, some policy changes would be required. But yes, we will wait and watch what kind of policies are coming.
And now, amongst the various things, Ashwani ji, that the Prime Minister has spoken of is land and labour reform. Let's focus on labour reform for a while. In Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, major changes introduced to labour laws. The International Labour Organization is concerned. Your own partner, the Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh, is concerned. What does the Swadeshi Jagaran Manch make of the fact that the government is pushing for less rigidity and more flexibility in the ability of a company to hire and fire?
Yeah, in fact that has raised objections to that, and we firmly believe that the labor laws which have come up in the last 7 decades in India, there may be some problems in the labor laws, but suspension of all labor laws perhaps may not be a very good idea, and therefore we as I've said, that we will wait and watch, and also we will consult Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh how do they really think about it.
What about land? Because Land Acquisition Act was pushed through by the central government. There was a big backlash because of that. And as a result of which the government in the first instance had to withdraw the original provisions of the Land Acquisition Act. Will you oppose changes to land acquisition, or are you okay with the idea that it should be easier to acquire land, Ashwani ji? Ashwani ji, can you hear me? Okay, give us a moment as we try and fix this. We'll slip into a very quick break. We'll come back with more on the other side of these messages. Stay with us.
You are watching
We have with us live and exclusive at this time the national co-convener of the Swadeshi Jagaran Manch, Ashwani Mahajan. Ashwani ji, I was asking you about labour law. The Swadeshi Jagaran Manch has expressed reservation with what's been done by state governments in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. Will you oppose this move, or are you okay with the fact that the state governments there are making labour law so much less rigid than earlier?
See, I told you that the Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh is discussing this issue, and we are also discussing this issue with the Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh, and we will come out with this, our opinion about the same after discussing with our partners.
What about land reform? This was one of the biggest moves of Prime Minister Narendra Modi soon after he came to power in 2014. The Swadeshi Jagaran Manch and others opposed it. The government had to go back. Now again, land law again being reformed, land changes again being on the table. Is that something that you'll be okay with, or again, is that something you'll try and oppose?
You see, we had opposed with the nail the land reforms earlier also, and we will wait and see what kind of land reforms we are really bringing, because we have already supported the land reform in the form of leasing laws and land leasing, the new land leasing law, and we can and we are of the opinion that the country has got huge amount of land. Land banks are there with the state governments, with the central government, and there is a big amount of land available in the country without there being any change required for the same. So
what I don't understand, Ashwani ji, is you want that India be Atmanirbhar, that manufacturing, not just domestic manufacturing but international manufacturing, shift to India. To enable that, you need to make greater flexibility in labour law, greater flexibility in land acquisition, that you're opposing. So how can you achieve your mission of enhancing industrial activity in India while opposing reform?
There are, you see, we have already said that labor reforms, there are two views amongst the economists. One says that labor laws are required to be changed. The other opinion is that labor laws are not coming in any way in the industrial development. So there is a conflict of the views. It's not that we don't want manufacturing. I've already said the employment cannot be generated in the agricultural sector. Services have got limited possibility of creating employment, and therefore we have always been pushing for manufacturing in India, curbing Chinese imports. But so far as the land reforms and the labor reforms are concerned, yes, we have also suggested that there should be separate labor laws for the MSME sectors, and this proposal is lined with the government that yes, there should be separate labor laws for the MSME. So far as the land reforms are concerned, I've already said that we have ample land, and land is not coming in way of the industrial development, and therefore pushing those kind of land reforms the way the land reforms were being pushed earlier, so that is not a very good idea. So that's why we opposed land reforms. But we will wait and watch what kind of land reforms are on the table. Let's see, and then only we will be able to respond to your questions.
Many ministers in the government are talking about how we could leverage the opportunity of companies wanting to move manufacturing out of China. How excited are you about that? Because do you see a contradiction in the idea of making in India self-reliance, go vocal about local, and the desire to be part of a global value chain where only one part of a product is produced in one country, other parts are produced elsewhere? So it's a highly integrated global economy. And on the one side, you're putting up walls saying produce here. On the other side, you say you want to be part of a global value chain. How do those two ideas fly side by side?
Let me tell you, Rahul, global value chain is a well-filled idea. And we are to bring production centers from China to India, the companies, those who are exporting from China. And that's why what they've said is that in general, we have been opposing the companies coming into India. But in this case, in a special case, when the companies are shifting their production base from China to India for export, and therefore, we have suggested that there should be three conditions on these companies. They should not be relying on our domestic market alone. They should be coming for export. Second, the domestic content requirement is required. That is, when they come, they use materials produced within India. So these two conditions are everywhere in the world. Wherever you go, you find that FDI is welcome, but under these conditions. And therefore, Swadeshi government is not. Swadeshi government is not putting any new conditions. These are the global practices, and therefore, when we are asking for the global practices to be adopted in India, there is nothing wrong. And third thing, what we have wanted is that. Third thing is that they should not ask for the royalties. You see, so these MNCs, they take away a huge amount of royalties, a huge amount of money in the form of technical fees and so on. Then the total outflow is about $20 billion. So what we want is that these kinds of outflows should not happen. We should not be blowing away our valuable foreign exchange in the name of imports for the materials. They should make use of the domestic material, and these domestic content requirements and export requirements
So let me challenge you on royalty. If you don't allow foreign companies to make money in India, why will they come? They're not Santa Claus. This is not NGO. They're coming to do business in India.
Royalty is no profit. Royalty is something, which the UPA government, they lifted the cap on royalty. Earlier, we are okay with the small royalty, as SEBI has also suggested that not more than 2% of the money should go in the form of royalty. Just going away, giving up say 6%, 8%, 10% of the total sales in the name of royalty. This is ridiculous, and this should not happen. And what we're saying is that the UPA government lifted the cap, and that is the main reason why there has been flaring up of the royalty outflow. The government is already considering that.
Okay, so that's an important voice, the Swadeshi Jagaran Manch, especially in the context of the BJP government being in power and their close links with the RSS is a very important voice, and very often what Ashwani Mahajan says ends up later becoming the new idea within the government as well. So we've heard him on royalties, we've heard him on opposing land acquisition, wanting to work with the Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh on labour laws, but very strongly advocating the idea of an Atmanirbhar, self-reliant Bharat. Ashwani Mahajan ji, for joining us in India today with your thoughts. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.